The Open Alliance, as you are probably well aware, is working on different kinds of specifications for the automotive Ethernet ecosystem, and we're always trying to close the gaps. And there will be some exciting announcements also on Thursday, so I strongly encourage that you try to participate if you have not already planned to do so. Quick show of hands, who is actively working in the Open Alliance in any of the technical committees? That's not bad. And whose company you are aware of that is active in the Open Alliance, but you're not personally active? Okay, and is anybody here who is working for a company that is not yet a member of the Open Alliance? I will give you my business card, but I don't see any, I don't see any hands. This is great. Okay, so join us on Thursday, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Oliver. So now from Brazil, we move towards Japan. I'm really happy to have a Japanese contribution. Over the last decade, I experienced the Japanese community are very reliably, like their cars, are contributing to the ecosystem. They are looking for overlap in different standardization. They're looking for the gaps. They provide also suggestion how to overcome gaps. And also they point out where further work has to be done. So it's, I have to say thank you very much to the JASPAR organization and to the Japanese community that you are also always so reliably work on to help to make the ecosystem more better. And thank you very much. The first speaker that we have now is Takumi Nomura. He is Vice Chair of the JASPAR Next Generation High-Speed Networking Group, and also he's Chief Engineer at the Honda Motor Company. He received his PhD from Kyushu University in Japan, and prior to work at Honda, he was also a researcher working on applied technology for Ethernet. Second speaker, Yoshihiro Ito. He's an academic member of the JASPAR Next Generation High-Speed Networking Group, and since 2001, he's an associate professor at the Nagoya Institute of Technology. Formerly, he worked also for telecom provider, Japanese KDDI, and I believe he can get a lot of experience from there, also now to automotive networks. The floor is yours.
Thomas, thank you for introduction. I'm Takumi Nomura, a chief engineer of Honda, and I'm also a vice chair of JASPAR Next Generation High-Speed Network Working Group. And this is Professor Ito from Nagoya Institute of Technology. Today, we'd like to talk about requirement of harmonization among automotive Ethernet standardizations. First of all, let me introduce our organization. JASPAR is a Japanese non-profit organization of automotive industries. JASPAR is established in 2004 and led by 5 board companies, such as Toyota, Nissan, Toyota Tsusho, Denso, and Honda. JASPAR is composed by 7 active working groups. We are from Next Generation High-Speed Network. Our research interest includes various technologies regarding automotive Ethernet. Fortunately, we got the opportunity to introduce 2 presentations from us. In addition to this presentation, The other one on automotive SDN will be presented in the afternoon. Please don't miss it. Okay, let's get to the main topics. Here are the contents of this presentation. After talking about the background, we will discuss our contribution to IEEE and solution of the non-aligned standards and recommend to authors. Finally, we will discuss the ideal automotive profile. Okay, let me talk about the background of this presentation. The main theme of this presentation is harmonization of the multiple standards. And the motivation to make this presentation is that there are some differences between standards regarding time synchronization that cannot be overlooked. And to solve that issue, at the last year's Tech Day in Yokohama, we showed differences in functions, existing profiles for time synchronization. And we also analyzed the problems caused by these differences. The first one was related to BMCA, announce message, and signaling message. The profiles regarding announce message and signaling message are different by standards. We showed that these differences may cause the problems when they are coexist within the same system. The network can be designed statically, such as in-vehicle network, does not require announce message and signaling message in addition to BMCA. Thus, we propose that it would be better not to use them. Second one was multiple time domain. Both IEEE and AUTOSA supports multiple time domain. However, there are differences in parameter. The difference may also cause the problem if they are mixed in the same system. We proposed employing AUTOSA's multiple time domains specification. Okay, next, we'd like to talk about our effort to IEEE. First step, last July in Montreal. As you know, IEEE determine the Ethernet standards. On the other hand, Autoza has a huge influence on the automotive network and software. It is correct to develop according to IEEE. It is correct to develop according to Autoza too. However, the system includes both standards is not correct. Unfortunately, there are some differences between the two greatest standards. This situation should be resolved as soon as possible. Therefore, JASPAR argued that coexistence should be ensured early so that both IEEE and Autoza will become widespread. Although our consideration was almost recognized in .1DG at that time, additional contributions were required. The second step last November in Bangkok. In response to a request in Montreal, we presented additional contributions to .1DG regarding the differences in specifications. JASPAR asked members of .1DG to analyze in detail and cooperate for the resolution of the differences. I think this approach was not good. Basically, we JASPAR respect Autoza as well as IEEE. So we intend. Okay, we intentionally refrained from making a clear proposal that would favor either organization. However, we were not able to convey our intentions well. The third step last March, this March, in Atlanta. JASPAR presented a revised proposal that does not use announce message. Since JASPAR thought of the need to request to .1DG without any misunderstandings concretely. And this means that aligning with Autoza. Autoza is widespread and significantly influences the automotive industry. Therefore, although it may have a root proposal to .1DG, JASPAR had no choice but to propose revisions to the .1DG specification. At that time, various discussions arose. However, at last, our proposal was accepted as a direct voice from automotive industry. After that, .1DG draft 2.0 was created. It was released in May after the plenary in Atlanta. Surprisingly, time synchronization will be AUTOSA compliant. And they also expressed their view. They would take time to build a consensus with automotive industry. Two months ago, this July in Berlin, discussions on AUTOSA compliance for time synchronization started. JASPAR was able to confirm that specifications other than the need for announce messages, such as VLAN specifications, also comply with AUTOSA. However, some participants still have deep-rooted concerns about AUTOSA compliance. I think this is a natural reaction. Further discussion and consensus building are necessary. By the way, originally speaking, AUTOSA did wrong. There is no point in saying that AUTOSA arbitrarily added specifications that IEEE does not have. A memorandum of collaboration has been exchanged between AUTOSA and JASPAR. So JASPAR requested to AUTOSA not to make any additions to the specifications that would disrespect IEEE. JASPAR shares the actual situation of .1DG with AUTOSA. JASPAR and .1DG don't want to have similar but different two-time sync protocols from .1AS and AUTOSA. Referring AUTOSA time sync protocol by .1DG may break above bad double standard situation. So now, what should the AUTOSA time sync protocol be in the future, and how? We need more discussions with more partners. AUTOSA release 22-11 has a configuration which allows incompatible TLB with .1AS 2011. If AUTOSA continues continue to be incompatible with .1AS, I think it would be okay to have a dedicated SDO ID for AUTOSA in accordance with the SDO ID policy defined in IEEE 1588. That makes it clear that it is AutoZAR specification. As long as we can recognize the AutoZAR specific with a software perspective, we can manage it. So we will propose this idea to AutoZAR. It seems that AutoZAR will be referenced regarding time synchronization. But originally, the automotive profiles, such as QoS, should be defined in IEEE. Like industrial Ethernet, if there are a lot of industry-specific and incompatible Ethernet imitations, things can get messy. Even if you try to fix it, it will take a lot of time and effort. Automotive profile is still a work in progress. We would like the audience from OEMs and suppliers to join the .1DG discussions and to create the real standard automotive profile together. From now, well, what we should do? We, JASPAR, will continue to participate and contribute to the standardization of .1DG. And we will work on AutoZAR to be consistent with IEEE. To the audience from OEMs and suppliers, please participate in the .1DG discussion. JASPAR alone is too heavy a burden. Let's formulate the ideal automotive profile together. Thank you for your kind listening. Obrigado.
Thank you, Nomura-san, for your excellent presentation. We heard clear and loud that you request more participation. We got your appel. So to fix things, who is going to help? Who is going to help? Please, hands up. Who is participating in .1? Okay, I see your problem. Okay. So please contact Nomura-san and also Ito-san after presentation to help to make this, to ask specifically where exactly they need to help. I think it's really important that this work is a wonderful presentation. What is the benefit doing this work in IEEE? Just a question to you, is there a liaison between JASPAR and .1? Mm-hmm. You have a liaison?
Yes. Liaison.
Yeah. Okay, very good.
We have a liaison.
Very good. Okay. Are there further questions to the presentation from the audience? Steve, do you have any recommendation how you can push OEMs and tier 1s and tier 2s to...
What I would say is that 802.1, one of its responsibilities is essentially defining how bridging works in 802, okay? They're responsible across all the architectures for this. And TSN is a large collection of little tools that do certain specific things. 802.1DG is a profile they've been working on for about 4 years to try to cover the automotive case. They have an industrial profile, an aviation profile, probably some other ones. But the simplest thing is if you want something to happen in 802.1, you have to show up, okay? And remember, 802 is an individual participation group. You're not there as a representative of your company, you're there as a technically qualified individual. So it's not really, JASPAR can't say anything to 802.1. Individuals can go in and say, we think these sorts of things should be changed. You have to convince them, and 75% of the group has to vote and agree with you. The process is simple, but that's the only way anything gets changed in .1. So as Thomas said, if you want this to happen, get yourselves into the .1 meetings and make it happen. You don't just write them a note and say, hey, please fix this, because that's not how the process works.
And again, standardization can be fun as well.
And actually, this is Vlad Lelik of Microchip, also Avno. To follow up on the previous statement, last week's New York's meeting, 802.1, there was a discussion, and specifically on this subject, to simplify things, I guess, to the core, the perception was that 1588 would not allow optional announce messages, which means that 1IS also has to have announce messages being mandatory, and that clearly is a problem for industries others than automotive also. Automotive seemed to be the boldest one to declare the divorce from that 1IS in DG, but others have very similar problems. And I think this problem is well understood within 802.1. In fact, Don from NXP, he made a presentation specifically to address this, and it looks like it resonated well. So I encourage everyone to maybe follow up on those developments to see that people do listen and contributions do matter. And standards can be changed. So.
Thank you so much.
And also, a small spoiler, Don actually showed that there is a way, quite likely, to solve the problem technically without breaking 1588 compliance, so to say, through managed objects, and that's what I'm saying.
Thank you so much. Further questions or comments? Hearing none, then thank you again.
Thank you very much.
So our last presentation on TSN is now from Alan Rejeff. Alan is works as a system architect at Keysight, formerly known as Ixia. His expertise is now over 30 years of industry experience and of Ethernet hardware and software, has a deep understanding, also Wi-Fi, time-sensitive networking. I know Alan from various standardization meetings in .3 as well as in .1. Also, he is contributing to Avenue Alliance, also into the 5G world he's familiar. I think a big thank you also to Alan for all his contribution to standardization. And I hope, here he is. Alan, please have fun with your presentation.
Okay, thank you.